Good morning. This is Jim, and I live in Texas. It's 4:45 a.m. Sun's not due for a couple hours, and I am fixing to leave on the FJR for Van Horn, Texas. This will be a Saddle Sore 1000 ride. It's part of an Iron Butt Association event where people today from all over the country are doing Saddle Sore 1000s in honor of a rider called Jack Shoalmire, who was a prominent IBA member who was in the process of trying to do a Saddle Sore 1000 in every state, and unfortunately passed away before he could finish. So the riders today are going to try to do the 50 Iron Butt rides in 50 states today, and I'm going to do a Texas ride. So taking pretty much the easy way out, Interstate 35 straight down to San Antonio, Interstate 10, 80 mile an hour speed limits, woohoo, out to Van Horn, total of 510 miles roughly, turn around and come back and do it again. So we'll see how things go. Keep your fingers crossed that I don't have any problems. Jim in Texas. I'll be back later. Okay, this is Jim, and I'm in San Antonio right now. Let's get a look at the bike. There's really only two turns on this whole trip. I go south from Austin to San Antonio and turn right and head down I-10, and then get to Van Horn, turn around, come back, turn left, go home. So just did my right turn. I mainly stopped to get a gas receipt to document I did go to San Antonio, but it's getting a little chilly. It's about 58, 59 degrees, so I went ahead and put on my heated vest, and I'll plug that in. Bike's running fine, a little bit cool driving down here, but not too bad. And looking forward to the next 500 or 450 miles to get to Van Horn. And this is Jim in Texas, San Antonio. Okay, for those of you who've been wondering what West Texas is like, we're about halfway between Fort Stockton and Van Horn along Interstate 10, and you can see it's scenic. See how scenic it is. Saddle Sore 1000 on October 15, 2011 is going well, making good time. Should be in for lunch at Van Horn, my turnaround point at about 2. Weather's nice, 75 degrees, clear. There's a breeze, but it's not a horrible killer breeze like we sometimes get. FJRs are running great. She just loves the Interstate 80 mile an hour limit. She can't get enough of it. Well, this is Jim on the way to my turnaround point in Van Horn in about an hour and 10 minutes probably. Howdy, this is Jim, and I'm at the halfway point in my Saddle Sore 1000. This is the famous El Capitan Hotel in Van Horn, Texas. And I'm happy to be here, and I'm going to go there. Restaurant doesn't open till 5 and it's only 2, so I'm going to go find a place to eat. Jim in Van Horn, halfway through Saddle Sore 1000. Well, howdy, this is Jim, and I'm in Texas. I'm on my way back from my turnaround point on my Saddle Sore 1000. I am about, 150 miles west of Van Horn. I stopped in Fort Stockton, which was about 20 miles ago. I forgot to put my earplugs in, and I don't like riding without earplugs, so I pulled over at this rest area. I've only had, the equipment's all worked great. I only had one problem, is the charge cable for my Android smartphone that goes in this cradle here broke due to wind whipping it around, because it's a little thin, skinny thing. And of course, being an Android phone, that was going into Fort Stockton, so it'd been on the charger for 9 or 10 hours, and of course the battery immediately died. So no more music, no more podcasts for me. I'm just going to live with myself. A couple of observations. I got about 2 hours of daylight left. I'm getting a little worried about deer. I wanted to leave at 4 this morning, but I didn't really get out and get on the road till 5.
So every hour I slept past forest, an hour I'm in the high intensity deer zone in the vicinity of Kerrville, Texas. I'm concerned about deer. One thing about Interstate 10 here that's very interesting to me that I hadn't noticed before, there's almost no cars on it. For whatever reason, there's lots of trucks. They're well spaced out. Very few cars really compared to, I'm used to Interstate 35, which is bumper to bumper 24/7. Out here, you know, there's only the occasional car. I mean, I might go 30, 40 minutes without seeing a car. It's amazing how few cars there are. Weather's been real nice. I'm about the peak temperature right now, which is 90 degrees. I can easily handle that, even though I'm a big baby about heat. Had a good dinner at the Sands Motel restaurant in Van Horn. Recommend that if you want a place to stop and just get a decent, serviceable hamburger. Well, every second I sit here starting is another second in the deer zone after dark, so better get on down the road. Just want to say hi, and thanks for watching. Jim, Saddlesore 1000, 15 October 2011. The sun's got about a half an hour or 40 minutes to live. I'm in Ozona, Texas at the Stripes convenience store. It's a pretty little town. Coming out here, I drove all the way from Junction to Fort Stockton non-stop, which is about 200 miles, I think. I know I was on reserve on the fuel gauge. I really had about 60 or 70 miles left, but the fuel gauge is real pessimistic and cries wolf. But because I'm a little more tired, a little later, I thought I'd stop here in Ozona, which is halfway from Fort Stockton to Junction. Once I get to Junction, it'll be about dark, so from Junction to San Antonio, I'm in the deer crosshairs, so let's hope and pray I don't run across any of them. Alrighty, well, time to hit the road. Okay, this is Jim. It's 12:30 a.m. in the morning. I just got the final gas receipt for my Saddlesore 1000. Wow. I felt pretty good until the last hour that my back started working up and my head starts to hurt. I'm ready to go home and go to bed. Fortunately, home is less than a mile away. A couple of quick observations. The FJR is the ideal machine for burning up the interstates. You know, 80 miles an hour on Interstate 10, you have to hold her back. Perfect. This is a perfect machine for long distance traveling on interstates. 3 years ago, almost to the day, I did my first Saddlesore 1000. That was on my Ninja 250. That one nearly killed me. I came back almost hypothermic. But this one is, left at 5 in the morning until midnight, whatever that works out to be roughly. Last one took 23 hours and like 35 minutes. I came back completely destroyed. I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't prepared for cold weather at all. It nearly froze my butts off. I had a lot better luck with the weather today. I have the big windshield, the big thing. I have heated vest when it did get cold this morning. So I was a lot better equipped than I was the first time. The last thing is, I think this is probably the last one of these I'm going to do. I wanted to do it for two reasons. One was because this bike is wearing an iron butt license plate back. But really, the Ninja earned that. This bike never earned the right to wear that. So now it has. The second is, there's a cool patch called a mile leader patch you can get when you have at least 2 certified rides. Next certified ride, if I do another one, if I ever have time, will be a National Parks tour, which you have a whole year to do. And realistically, I've looked at it. I'll try to do it last fall. It didn't work out. You could do it at a fairly brisk but not killing pace at about 5 weeks. Or you have a whole year if you have that much time. Anyway, I'm going to go home. I'm going to maybe try it. I hope my wife's awake. Maybe she can help me work this knot out of my back. And hopefully I won't drop it. I got all this way, 1,015 miles. I haven't dropped it. Hopefully I won't drop it now. Jim in Texas. Thanks for watching.